Liverpool fan in Japan.
Hello YouTube, Liverpool fan in Japan here, the Miyazaki man sign. Today we're going to talk transfer rumours, making sense of all of the links to Liverpool FC. Now the January transfer window is fast approaching, and can the league be won in January transfer window? Well, I already went through it in a conversation with David Lynch, but let's recap just a little bit. So we've been linked with Omar Marmoush in the Bundesliga. He is absolutely lighting it up. He's on 10 assists as well. He actually has created a formidable partnership with Ekitike, right? He's got 10 assists, mainly to Ekitike, and he's a compatriot of Mo Salah, the Egyptian prince that is promised to take over from the Egyptian king. Omar Marmoush is a dead ball specialist as well. He scored 3 free kicks in a row in the Bundesliga. I don't know if that's been done before, but he has this technique similar to Juninho Pernambucano, where he can hit the ball with his instep, following through with a parallel foot, which raises the ball up and down with tremendous dip and a lot of speed as well. And he's quite consistent with his free kicks. In fact, he's so good with a dead ball, he's their corner taker as well. He can absolutely get epic loft on the ball and have it come down on a sixpence. Now, even Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andy Robertson don't have the similar type of free kick that Omar Marmoush does. So I think he'd come in as a set-piece specialist, but his price will not be cheap. I know that China boy mentioned in the last video as well that Arsenal wanted Marmoush, although apparently in the gossip columns that his preference is Liverpool. And as this channel is a channel of substance in abundance,
the cream of the crop,
I do take the time to personally reply to each and every one of you, taking time to acknowledge you guys as a member of the Liverpool Fan in Japan channel, because I appreciate each and every one of you. So if you want to join the best community, the most interactive community with me as the host who can interact the most, then feel free to subscribe if you enjoy this content, because I truly do value community. And thank you everyone for joining the live watch along, the Q&A session this weekend too. So yes, back to Omar Marmoush. Is ultimately up to who stumps up the cash, because unless anyone meets Frankfurt's transfer fee valuation, they're not even going to get the chance to talk to Omar Marmoush. We're going to get to Omar Marmoush in just a bit. We also talk about Milos Kerkez, right, at Bournemouth, someone that Richard Hughes knows intimately, having signed him first and foremost for Bournemouth, having done all of their metric analysis on this player. His age profile is very interesting as well, and it's a left back we seem to be after. Additionally, how does Kerkez stand up against Ait Nouri, another player we've been interested in Wolves? Does the centre-back conversation come in again? Obviously, Konate's been on a good run of form at the moment, injury-free. In fact, he was captain for France over the international weekend. We have so many captains in the ranks and vice captains, and additionally in the leadership squad, none of them show any sign of slowing down at all. So let's discuss that as well. Will we be after a striker, a right winger, a central midfielder? Will we revisit Zubimendi again? There's links to Tchouaméni again. Those never seem to go away. Who do you want between Tchouaméni and Zubimendi? We had a brief discussion in the live Q&A session over the weekend as well. So let's get into it. So before everyone gets too excited on Omar Marmoush, you have to be realistic. Marcus Crochet, right, the Frankfurt sporting director, said he's not worried at all by clubs coming in from Omar Marmoush because he seems very settled and very happy here. He has struck a great partnership with Hugo Ekitike. If you remember, Hugo Ekitike was the main transfer target for Newcastle. Newcastle wanted him as a striker, but PSG pipped them for him. He's finally coming up trumps for them and showing his potential, even though he's not the main goal scorer. Omar Marmoush plays off Hugo Ekitike as a kind of shadow striker, a second striker, an Alessandro Del Piero, a Fabrizio Micoli type of role. The second striker, Gianfranco Zola, for example, Francesco Totti. He's not the main man and the main striker, mainly because he's a mobile forward with a good first touch, but he's got vision, he's got creativity. He seems to have space and time when he gets the ball in and around the opposition's penalty area to creatively playmake, which is why he's got so many assists. But in the Premier League, you're not afforded space in that sixth position because a lot of teams play a low block, and especially in that sixth position, they close up the gaps and have that square, that dominant area where they do not let you to enter unless they crunch you with the press. So ultimately, he's going to find it difficult to find the space. Additionally, he's playing in the Bundesliga where you've got to say that the pace of the game is ever so slightly different, because when players enter that prominent zone, the number 10 position or the side Mazzala positions, as you find in the Premier League, you've got to be incisive and decisive instantly. So he's got to work his magic there. To be fair to him, as a free kick specialist, he actually wins majority of his own free kicks, but he plays with a target man, and Liverpool don't play with a target man predominantly up front. Jota has to go from the 9th position into the 10 to find space in and behind the opposition between the defence and the centre-back line. Nunes plays off the shoulder and has to go out wide into those positions. Marmoush is quick, but not super rapid, and he's a late developer as well, right? This is almost the Mo Salah after Basel at Chelsea. at Chelsea and Fiorentina kind of Mo Salah, because he's 25 years old. He's not a young gun. He's ready for the here and now. He's also got to show that he can break into the team. Now, one thing that really would benefit Omar Marmoush, right, and in his skill set already, he's a little bit of a dirt baller. He's not the cleanest, the most skillful dribbler with attackers. He actually prods the ball an inch or two into the space and contests the next 50-50 like a Luis Suarez. But he's not as clean cut as a Luis Suarez, as in the dirt balling Luis Suarez from the Ajax, from the Liverpool days, where he can really jink and maneuver his body and weave in and out. He actually leaves the ball further forward and hopes he can contest the second 50-50. And when it works, it looks so deadly and off he goes. But if he loses it, then the opposition turn over the ball as well. Now, something that Liverpool are very, very good at doing in this particular season under Arne Slot is losing the ball in an area where the opposition have to work to make it into a goal-scoring threat. We don't lose it going horizontal or going backwards. It's always forward and into the channels, into the whips, where they have to do an extra action before they can mount an attack onto a goal, right? So in that regard, Omar Marmoush as the second striker can pivot into the Mezzala or the wide positions and possibly do a bit of his junk balling, a bit of dirt balling to make the opportunity in space. So the good thing about him is he's composed, he's got vision, and he can pick up the pass and he can put a weighted pass. He is that type of player, a little bit like Hakan Çalhanoğlu, who can pick out the pass in terms of putting the right weight behind it. Now, Darwin Núñez does this as well, because you saw his ball into the area for Mo Salah. He put the side foot instep and weighted it as well. He's a free kick special as well, which means that you can really count on his technical ability to strike a ball well. He is a good ball striker. He is a good passer of the ball in the final third. He could become a vital player for Liverpool, and it'd obviously be a huge asset in the title push and the Champions League push to get Omar Marmoush in. But once again, he plays in a 2, Hugo Ekitike, right? So you can't say that Liverpool are the ideal tactical fit for him right now. Similarly, Arsenal, who are after him as well, with Kai Havertz as the link player up front, the kind of false nine, dropping into the top of the diamond position, similar to what Diogo Jota does. He's not an out-and-out striker as well, but he is more of the kind of Hugo Ekitike mould to play along Marmoush. So maybe in terms of system-wise, Arsenal might be a better fit unless Liverpool change up the tactics slightly and have Salah higher up into that front two. But then again, Salah is not a target man. In fact, Liverpool don't really have a target man. It's one of the profiles that we kind of miss. The closest we have is Darwin Núñez, who runs off the shoulder. He's a speed merchant with physicality as well. Marmoush and Darwin Núñez could be an ideal combination for the fact that Marmoush's weighted through balls seem almost ideal to unlock Darwin Núñez into the goal-scoring positions as well. And then you bank on Darwin Núñez converting at least over half his chances, because he is a chance creation machine as well. So Omar Marmoush would be a very, very good pickup. Obviously, compatriot with Mo Salah. That must be a big pull, especially if we sign Mo Salah to a new contract. I doubt he would be a replacement for Mo Salah, because why? As an Egyptian idol, right? Wanting to play with your hero, wanting to play with your teammate, someone you massively respect and look up to, would we move on Mo Salah and then bring him in, because then they don't have the opportunity to cross paths? So it just doesn't make sense at all. If he were to come, it'd be under the conditions. The Mo Salah is still here. They can strike up a good partnership. Mo Salah plays a through balls to get him in as well. He's very familiar with his game. He would have vouched for him for his personality, his attributes, his techers, his ability, and his potential to fit into Liverpool as a city, as a club, the family feeling as well, and to unleash his talents, because he's obviously very, very talented. Almost ready-made at 25 years old as well. But he's only really had one great season. You have to put that into perspective. He's only really had one breakthrough season, and it's the current season at the moment. Last season, coming in on a free transfer. Can you believe it, right? German club to German club. And he had a loan at Stuttgart as well. Coming in as a free transfer, and now look at his worth. And his versatility and adaptability are surely assets for the right club. Manchester City could be coming in for him as well, you'd believe. He'd kind of suit the Bernardo Silva, can play in the wings, can play up front, can play shadow striker. Arsenal would love him as well, but you'd have to stump up the right amount of cash, because once again, Frankfurt would not sell him cheap. This is more of a summer transfer kind of move, obviously, because he's a main goal scorer. Frankfurt want to do things this season, want to end up in the Champions League, for example. And Liverpool, unfortunately, have a lot of firepower. We haven't even seen the best of Federico Chiesa, because they're getting him up to speed, up to match fitness, so he can consecutively play games, get that match groove in, and score goals as well. A very direct player. So Omar Marmoush's ability to change and jink side to side, play behind the player as well, unlock a door. His weak foot is not particularly weak. He has a good left-footed shot. He's got a powerful right-footed shot as well. He doesn't need to drive into the penalty box straight away. He's happy to play outside until the right moment presents itself. His composure is great. He would be a top-notch signing, but once again, I don't know if we necessarily have room for him unless a Diogo Jota is injured long-term, or they don't bank on his fitness for the run-in for the Premier League, title, or Núñez suddenly hits, off form as well, or for example, and then you might be looking at getting that extra firepower. But once again, Liverpool have the firepower up front. It's an option from 6. Harvey Elliott is coming back in as well. Gakpo, Diaz, Salah, Harvey Elliott, Chiesa, Nunez, and Jota. There's almost no room for him in that attacking part, and to part with that amount of money to get him in, I don't see it in the January transfer window. And once again, if the other clubs, Arsenal or Man City, want to pounce on him, then it's a toss-up between whether Liverpool consider his investment absolutely crucial to the next era of Arne Slot's development of the Liverpool team, such as we did with Luis Diaz, for example, before Tottenham, as Tottenham tried to poach him, or whether we spend on a controller, a midfielder, which was obviously a profile player to help close out games. Now, we've struck gold. In the Battle of Bowls, we struck gold with Arne Slot, but I'm talking about midfield with Gravenberch as well. I did say in the absence of signing a 6, Gravenberch could come to the fore, so could Curtis Jones with the opportunities he's been gifted. But Zubimendi or Chouameni are available. You don't get many chances to grab that type of player, but once again, because there's game intelligence, because they don't have a pre-season with Liverpool going straight into the thick and fire of the Premier League, then a Zubimendi would be probably a top priority grab by Man City or Liverpool, for the fact that this type of player doesn't become available super often. We haven't burned the bridges there because Real Sociedad made the promise to up his contract, that he'd be doing okay this season, but he has not signed a renewed contract as far as anyone is aware of. And he could come in and make a difference because he's of that caliber. He is of that caliber, even though, it would be a slow burner, for example, because Gravenberch has nailed on that position, and you've got a destroyer in Endo Mako who can transverse into that position, and a Tyler Morton on the backup as well. Or do you go for your left back? Now, left back is a super interesting one considering the age profile of Robertson and Kostas Tsimikas, right? Because Robertson, over 30. Kostas Tsimikas, in and around, is he 26, 27, 28 kind of age range? I want to say 27, for example, off the top of my head. The Scouse Greek, a Spartan warrior. It's not for a lack of quality, because Slot has shown he fully trusts Kostas Tsimikas as a game-win condition to close out the games, to start games, to offer the wing-back solidarity defensive line alongside the 6 with Gravenberch, right? Because Trent actually doesn't traverse high up onto the pitch. It's been a marked tactical ploy to have Trent deeper back so that we no longer expose that weakness on the transition. Trent is a reliable part of the defensive unit, which helps us keep the clean sheets, and he has that offensive threat if necessary against Arsenal with the ball in behind, for example, between the lines. So Kostas Tsimikas is widely trusted in his prime, massively popular in the changing room, and never underestimate how important it is to have great characters, great personalities. He renewed a contract knowing he was second choice, breaking into the first team. Robertson is not getting any younger, but he's an able deputy, and he's important in the changing room, and he's part of the leadership group as well. And in the interview with Alisson Becker, Robertson, right, and Mo Salah, you can note how infectious, how important Robertson is. He does the dirty work of the leadership team as well, well respected, trusted professional, and keeps the standards, because he's jabbing at Ryan Gravenberch for not keeping the standards, getting the man of the match, and letting it get to his head in training as well. So these players are ultra valuable, but a Milos Kerkez at 21 years old and a Ryan Ait Nouri at 23 years old, and I think I got that right, they offer the next generation of left back to come in at the age profile where we don't have a backup. Conor Bradley is amazingly young and of that age range as well. Ryan Gravenberch is just about at the age range. Szoboszlai is just about at the age range as well, as is Darwin Nunez, Cody Gakpo, Jarrell Quansah, Queeve Kelleher, Omar Marmoush kind of fits into the prime players coming into their peak years as well. Georgi Mamashvili fits in that profile as well. Left back is the only one, except from Owen Beck, for example, where we don't have that up and coming talent that really could cement the place for the next 5-10 years. And a Milos Kerkez showed his ability against Manchester City that he can be a game changer, game winner. He's defensively solid, but the team itself, Bournemouth, are up and down, so you can't really bank too much on the consistency of the team. But as a profile and attributes, he has defensive awareness. He's solid. He can go into the wing back role. He obviously can traverse around the outside. He can deliver a ball in as well. I'm not 100% convinced on his crossing ability consistently. He's not a Kostas Tsimikas, let me put it that way. But then again, an Andy Robertson at Hull, before Klopp got his hands on him and delivered the first time crosses from the left to right, left to centre pot, left to piece spot, dead ball delivery. Great technical player. Richard Hughes will know all about him, his potential, his ceiling, his contribution so far, his character. He is a left back come wing back as well, whereas Ryan Ait Nouri is a winger who's been transformed into a fullback, probably plays best as a wing back in the Wolves system, right? Because Wolves love their wing backs. You're thinking Doherty back in the day as well, and Ait Nouri of the current generation. So they can really, really play on the outside, especially Ait Nouri in advanced positions. But Kerkez showed his attacking intent and potential this season already. And he's younger than Ait Nouri by, 2 years? 2 years, give or take. And he comes from a team where you'd imagine that the playing philosophy under Richard Hughes, he understands that he has the versatility to adopt that left back role in Liverpool. And behind the first line of Robertson and Tsimikas, who are vying for first team place, you'd imagine that he'd be a prominent figure playing in all of the cups and really contributing off the bench as well. And another thing is, both of them are Premier League proven. Now, we apparently have discussed a move for Kerkez already. There's talks being intimated at this current time, and you see all the media covering at the moment, but still early stages, and they're a million miles away in terms of agreeing an actual transfer. Because you remember David Lynch said in an interview, you're not going to get confirmation of a transfer right now. It's going to be closer to the January transfer window. When the door opens, then you'll get the confirmation that they're actually coming in. It'd be strange to derail Bournemouth's attacking intent and what they're trying to do up until the January transfer window at this point in time. Even if an agreement is in place, it won't be announced closer to the time. Who would you want between Ait Nouri and Kerkez? So Ait Nouri has his injury issues as well, but he'd come in and really offer the attacking, flying threat on the left wing. But Kerkez probably is defensively more solid at this moment in time, and that's amazing, especially because he'll be a well-known quantity with Dominik Szoboszlai being his Hungarian captain, and once again Omar Marmoush being vouched for by Mo Salah and Kerkez being vouched for by Szoboszlai. Liverpool are a family club. We have a no ego-driven, no douchebag policy. We don't hire divas. We don't pay the money for these people who cause trouble, which is very, very interesting considering we went after Nabil Fekir right back in the day. And obviously he showed he was trouble before he even signed with his brother-in-law or someone asking for more money up front. But we dealt with it professionally, claiming the knee injuries for the responsibility of that collapse transfer. So you've got to trust the backroom staff. We have the best in business, in infrastructure, in Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes. And remember that Julian Ward came back as well. And I trust Liverpool fully with what they want to do. And if they spot an opportunity, and they've talked about this time and time again, you've got to be opportunistic in the transfer window. You either take the player when the opportunity presents itself, knowing you don't have a limitless budget, but the one that will help us achieve things this season and for the plans going forward as well. Or if the player is too good to miss out, like case in point, Tchouaméni or Zubimendi, then sometimes you've got to allocate the budget to get them when the moment arises. Now, we tried to do it in the summertime. Unfortunately, he chose to stay loyal to his boyhood club. We've covered Zubimendi, way, way too much. I'm sure everyone is sick of that name by now, but he is still a quality player, and you can't take away the opportunity attributes there. Who else could we potentially go for? I mentioned Marmoush already. I mentioned Kerkez. I mentioned Ait Nouri. Do we go after that fabled, mythical, left-footed left back who's coming up prominence as well? Levi Colwill? No chance. Chelsea through and through. Hincapié, Leverkusen are being found out slightly this season. They don't have that aura of invincibility, so I don't know if we'll go back in for him. Amorim, could he be tempted to take Ignacio, who I actually purchased in Football Manager? He's doing all right in that back line, but he's not the most capable defender. He's great at playing the ball through the lines as well, but he has to play in the back three at least, or his sample sizes in terms of reviewing his performances to come on the left side of a back three. So can he fit into a back four system? Yet to be seen. I really think a midfield controller is top of the menu because they're a rare breed, right? You're looking at Adam, Wharton, Zubimendi, somewhat Tchouaméni, but he's more of a physicality, all-around ball player. A little bit like a Pogba, more than a dedicated sitting pivot like a Zubimendi, because those sitting pivots are very, very hard to find. Angelo Stiller could potentially be one as well, but I don't think we'll go there because it would take too much time to bring him up to speed of what Liverpool are trying to do this season, right? He'd be more of a pre-season kind of signing. You have to have game intelligence or familiarity with the Premier League, or a wild card aspect. A wild card aspect, i.e. you have so much unknown quantity but quality that you don't need instruction. You can play your natural game in a position where if you're turned over, you're not much threat to our chances of keeping a clean sheet, like a Felipe Coutinho, like a Daniel Sturridge in the January transfer window, that kind of thing, where a prospect who on a sixpence on any given day could turn it on and win you the match, right? So that's just my thoughts on it. In terms of Ait Nouri versus Kerkez, I think Ait Nouri could offer more right now, especially in an attacking concept, but he's defensively weaker than Kerkez, ever so slightly, because I think he's preferred as a wing back, which isn't the end of the world because Van Dijk can cover, but then you've got the same conundrum that Konate needs to cover for Trent Alexander-Arnold, and it weared him down over time, and he was susceptible to those agility-related injuries to the muscles, right, to the outside of the legs. I think Kerkez is the one for the long term. He's well-rounded, high potential, a well-known quantity, can be vouched for, Dominic Szoboszlai, and Premier League proven. I wouldn't be surprised to see Kerkez coming in January. I'd be very, very surprised to see a centre-back. I'd be very surprised to see a centre-back coming in, especially because we haven't given the minutes to Joe Gomez or Joe Quansah either. So how would a new centre-back get minutes over them? What does it say for squad morale or, the rotational value as well? I'd be surprised to get a destroyer. Wataru Endo is doing the role required of him, and Arne Slot is trusting him more and more by giving him the minutes on the pitch. But once again, it's not about trust. It's about utilising the player's skill sets for the particular function. He's a closer. You need closers, right? You absolutely need the Fernandinho of the Pep Guardiola, the elder Fernandinho. You need the Nemanja Matic of the Mourinho era to close out the game. You need the Nicky Butt of the Alex Ferguson era to close out the game. You need the James Milner to show game intelligence, drink that Ribena, and bring the kids through the motions at the end to close out the game as well. You need some of the dark arts that Endo and Milner brought about diving on the ball, winning the throw-in, handing the ball off, picking up a fight, wasting those extra minutes. You need those game winning moments and a mentality and understanding of what to do, and that comes with experience and having a bit about you and taking one for the team as well. Backup for right winger, I don't think we'll get it because Chiesa is already in there. Chiesa will play a part in the season. Guarantee you, they will have done his research. Forget the links to any Italian club. Chiesa will be here by the end of the season. So will Wataru Endo. Gomez and Quansah will have a role to play as well. We've been lucky with injuries so far, but some of this is down to Slot's conditioning and methodology as well. And in the training, he keeps training exciting. So all good on that front. I think Milos Kerkez is the one. We've been linked with him for a while. He fits the age profile and the second line. I think Tyler Morton, not 100% convinced he has a future at Liverpool, but when he has come on, he's shown good things. He is a tempo maestro and a controller. Now, if Zubimendi or that ilk doesn't come, then Tyler Morton will be relied upon in the cup games especially to bring us the control at the base of the midfield, but he traverses into the 8th position because he has things to offer going forwards as well. We have the firepower up front, so I don't see Marmoush coming in January. The only way Omar Marmoush comes in is if we've decided that he is the one to lead the golden era of the Arne Slot forthcoming era, winning us many, many trophies because he's the shiny one. And other teams come in for him, and if we don't get him, it's now or never kind of scenario. But once again, he's only had one great season. He's got a great highlight reel. He's got a great dead ball capacity. He's a jinky type player. He's coming into his prime. Now's the time if you want to get him. His price is just right. He'll be expensive, but not unobtainable, right? It looks like Pep Guardiola is going to sign a new deal. Erling Haaland might sign a new deal as well. Look, Liverpool, as I mentioned, it's Liverpool's title to lose, in my opinion. Now, people say that's early days, but I mentioned in the live stream as well. We only have to match, not beat, only have to match Man City's performance over the course of the season. If they win, we win. If they draw, we draw. If they lose, we lose to win the title. Think about that. That's a fantastic position to be in. And Liverpool are showing no signs of letting up, especially because on the defensive transition, we get everyone behind the ball. We lose the ball in areas that don't compromise the defense and don't let the opposition attack us massively. So can the league and the titles be won in the January transfer window? No, but it can help. It can help with the squad and help for the future as well. And if the opposition strengthens well, it doesn't matter because you can only play 11 against 11 on the pitch. I would rather, and I'll say this, boldly state this, I would rather every member in Liverpool squad stay fit this season for the whole season than sign a player, even an Omar Marmoush. I would rather Liverpool have every option available, and I'm talking Harvey Elliott, Federico Chiesa, everybody fit for the run into the season, than sign an Omar Marmoush. Now, that's a bold statement because I know everyone loves their transfers. They love the new shiny things. We love the shiny one, but he's shiny by nature, not by transfer jury what ifs, for example. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Once again, we're building the best community. Thank you, everyone, for joining the Liverpool Fan in Japan membership. Liverpool Fan in Japan membership, YouTube membership is the best way to support this channel. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Cheaper than a cheesy cheeseburger at Mackie D's. Exclusive content coming up all the time. I've done my bit on Rory Jennings already. I'm going to do bits on like Boovie, Adam McCullough, Arsenal Fan TV, all of the different content creators. I'm going to do Wataru Endo's book, Mamacita Maimi, Miyazaki Mama Mai. We'll do the translation of Wataru Endo's vlogs and book as well. Additionally, I'm going to do Tactical Masterclass because I note that you have to be kind to the algorithm, let YouTube understand that this is a Liverpool channel, right? So a generic football channel on why 4-4-1-1 is the new 4-4-2, but actually better than that. 4-4-2 diamond is an underrated formation. Why 4-2-3-1 isn't the best formation at all given situations. I'll do tactical masterclasses in the member section coming up soon. I've got Lucha FC, my Japan football club that I manage and player coach part-time. Top of the league. We're top of the league right now. We won an 8-0 victory over the weekend as well. Fancy that. There are a few more other transfer rumours. For example, Anthony Robinson at Fulham, swap deal for Kostas Tsimikas. Get out of here. Swap deals never happen. And Anthony Robertson, great going forward, but defensively slightly suspect. He's got the pace as well, but Tsimikas is important in Slott's plans. Don't underestimate, as I mentioned, the familiarity, and you don't want to disrupt a good moment, a title-winning machine, and we're well on our way at the moment. There's also the Ryan Cherki, right, at Lyon as well, because I know that they're in financial straits and difficulties at the moment. We do pick up a good opportunistic signing like Xherdan Shaqiri when his team got relegated, for example. Ryan Cherki could be one to look after. He is a skillful player, but once again, coming from League A, adapting into Liverpool when we're on a title-winning charge, don't really see it. I always love Maxence Kakare, another control at the base, skillful baller. But he seems to love being in France, so don't see that one anytime soon either. But as always, I love my piece of kit. So I've got one here from Mercari Japan, a box. I'm going to be sending out the goodies very, very soon. By the way, as you know, Liverpool Fan in Japan membership, YouTube membership is the best way to support the channel. In the Liverpool Fan in Japan members tier, right? The tier above the Wonder Kids tier, the second tier, I will be commissioning custom artwork and sending you guys a Christmas hamper, a Christmas goodie bag from Japan. But I'm doing custom artwork on a postcard. I'm going to sign my own personal message to each and every one of you. Thank you for going above and beyond. All you Liverpool Fan in Japan members and Emperor Endo tier, Captain Haz, I'm looking at you. Thank you so much for supporting the channel as always. We've got something very nice here. It must be old school. It's Carlsberg. Carlsberg. This looks nice. This might be just in time for the winter. Let's open this up and have a looky. Very nice. Carlsberg, gold and red trim. This must be super rare. What does it say here? Climate 365, UK 3638. Does meet nicely. Now the back has an Adidas logo on it, but somewhat dirty with some green skews, but it must be because it's old, right? Let's whip this on and have a looky. Ho, boys. Lucha FC top of the league, Liverpool top of the league, top of the Champions League as well. Ready to shine. It's really comfortable. Really, really nice. Oh, I love me some jumpers. I can go to town on the opposition on this. So could Liverpool. But actually, I mean really going to Miyazaki town because great food, great shopping as well. I'm meeting a friend from England, another YouTuber coming to Miyazaki, Japan, a gaming YouTuber. He's coming to Japan very, very soon, so I'm going to catch up with him, meet up with him. But until then, let me chuck this one back on because a little bit chilly. Substance in abundance. Thank you so much for watching. Miyazaki man, Ichiban means the best. But you guys are Ichiban as well. That live stream proved it. Those questions were fantastic. I'm going to do open mic drop-in sections where you can unmute your audio and show on the camera if you wanted to ask me questions and I'll answer them live for you guys. Anything you want me to cover, let me know in the comments below. And until next time, Janet, peace. Hope you have a great day.
Liverpool fan in Japan.